Hey everyone, my name's Sam and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be making these coconut pecan butter tarts. I made them last week for my dad's birthday and just kind of made up the recipe and they turned out really well, so I'm going to try making them again today, and I semi have the recipe written out. We're gluten-free in my house because Johnny's celiac, so I was out of brown rice flour and starch, the other usual things I use when making a gluten-free dough. But I had oats, so I decided to make some oat flour, and that's what the base of the tarts is. So I already blended up my oats. Here's the oat flour right there. I did a few cups and made extra because I'm going to be making something else with it after this. It's November now, but it's actually a super sunny and warm day. You can see the rainbows back there coming from the stickers on my windows. So we're gonna start with the tart shell part of the butter tart. For that I'm going to use 1 1/3 cups of oat flour, 5 tablespoons of coconut oil. You could also use vegan butter here if you wanted to, but I'm out right now and I like coconut, so. A dash of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and then 4 to 6 tablespoons of cold water or unsweetened milk just to make everything come together. So I'm going to add my 1 1/3 cups of oat flour, a little dash of salt, 2 tablespoons of white sugar. You could use brown sugar too, I'm sure, or maple syrup. And then I'm just going to give these ingredients a little mix. Next I'm going to add the 5 tablespoons of coconut oil. I just have this melted in a pan. And now I'm just going to mix that in. And I know I said 4 to 6 tablespoons of liquid, but I'm going to start with 2 because this seems pretty good already. So 2 tablespoons of water it is, and then you're gonna wanna get your muffin tray. And I think I ended up making 8 last time, so I'm just going to grease these 8 with a little bit of coconut oil. Okay, so I have the oven preheating to 350. I have these greased with some coconut oil, and then I'm just going to use this scoop here. I think that it's 1 1/2 tablespoons approximately. And then I'm just going to scoop some of this into as many as I can, probably 8. So I just kind of press those in there a little bit, and you're not going to be able to shape the tart shape right now because it is a little bit wet still, the dough. So I'm just going to pop this in the oven for about 6 minutes because then some of the moisture will be out and you'll be able to kind of shape it better. So yeah, pop it in the oven for 6 minutes and then let it cool for a few so that you can touch it without burning yourself. And now I'm gonna get to the filling, and it is just mostly coconut cream, so if you don't like the taste of coconut, you probably won't like these. The filling has 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 3/4 of a cup of coconut cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then you're going to do 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, or you can use butter, and then some pecans so that you can add a few to each of the tarts, but you don't have to use anything if you don't want to. You can use walnuts. I've used pumpkin seeds before. If you really wanted to play up the coconut, you could even add coconut shreds instead of pecans. So I'm just using the bowl that the tart shells were in, and we're gonna start with 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. I've used white sugar and maple syrup in place of this before, or you can mix and match. I don't think it really matters what sweetener. 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And then the last thing for the filling is 3/4 of a cup of coconut cream. I use this one from Walmart. It's only, I think, $2, and it's pretty much all entirely cream. And then you just want to mix this all together nice and good till you got kind of a cream syrup type of thing. So this is what you end up with. If you use maple syrup, it'll be thinner, obviously. So I let these cook in the oven for 6 minutes and it's cool enough now to touch it. I'm just going to shape these now so that they look more like tart shells. So this is what you should end up with. They're gonna be a little bit rustic, but tasty nonetheless. I'm going to add some pecans to the bottom of each one. And then I'm just going to put a couple of spoonfuls of the filling I made in each one. My oven's still set to 350 and now I'm gonna put these in for 20 to 25 minutes. So I had these in the oven for 20 minutes. I did overfill them a little bit because the sugar kind of bubbled over and I just had to use a knife to pry it away from all of the edges. But they smell really good and you're just going to want to let them completely cool before you try and move them. Otherwise they will fall apart. I managed to remove all but one of them because the filling overflowed. It made the edges of the crust a little bit crumbly, so be careful not to overfill them and you should be able to get all of them out. I'm gonna do a taste test of the one that I broke and then try to photograph the rest of them. Looks like a butter tart. It's super tasty, not too sweet. I'll write up the recipe and I'll put it on my blog, hempveganlove.com. Let me know if you make these and if you change anything to make them better. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like it, subscribe to me here on YouTube, and follow me on Instagram at hempveganlove, where I post every single day. Stay safe and I'll see you all next time.